On the realm of the Force known as Mortis, the three Jedi of Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Ahsoka Tano were in the midst of a titanic struggle between light and dark. The Force wielder known as the Daughter had sacrificed herself to save her father, and now the balance of the Force was with the dark side and the Son. Upon the advice of the ghost of former Jedi Master Qui-Gon Jinn, Anakin goes to the Well of the Dark Side to seek answers on how to deal with the threat of the Sun. Landing in the fire-surrounded pit, the Sun is awaiting his arrival and tempts Anakin to the dark side, showing him visions of his future and his turn to the Sith. Now following the Sun to prevent what he saw, Anakin is saved by the father erasing his memories, as the Son had been distracted by the potential of Obi-Wan and Ahsoka joining forces with the father. With the subsequent deaths of the father and the Son, the powers of Mortis fade away and their memories of the events are confused. But what if Anakin's memories had never been erased by the father? How would visions of a dark future affect Anakin? As you'll find out, his visions could have changed the complexion of the Jedi Knight. Anakin felt the invasion into his mind and he saw terrible visions of Sidious, Padme and Obi-Wan. As he fell to the floor, he vowed to never let any of these events happen and followed the Son to his ship. To his anger, Ahsoka had disabled the ship in time and the Son was wary that they had sought the help of the father. Before he could do anything about it, the father arrived to block an escape and pleaded with the Son to stop his plans of destruction. The Son uses his Force powers to conjure red Force lightning at the father, and as it is deflected, he orders Anakin to attack the father. The Jedi Knight is about to plunge his lightsaber into the father's chest, when he is blocked by Ahsoka's blades. The Padawan is able to hold off the attacks of her master for long enough to allow Obi-Wan to use the retrieved dagger of Mortis and kill the Son, as his father dropped him to the floor below. With the Sun gone, the dark side within Anakin had somewhat faded, but the father decided that Anakin should keep his memories and use them wisely, way to bring balance to the Force. Leaving the father to dwell on the planet alone for the rest of his existence, the Jedi leave the planet and awoke in their shuttle to the voice of Captain Rex. Anakin begins to remember the torture that the Sun had made him endure, and they quietly head back to their cruiser. After completing their rendezvous with Rex and the rest of the clones, the Jedi are allowed back to Coruscant, and Obi-Wan notices that Anakin is oddly quiet. The Jedi Knight silently walks to the office of his secret wife Senator Padme Amidala of Naboo, and the two Jedi are confused. Taking a seat next to the desk of the Senator, he reveals what the Son had shown to him on Mortis, and the others are worried that Anakin would act on these visions. Obi-Wan leaves Padme's apartment and visits Master Yoda for his feel on how to deal with Anakin, and the Jedi Grand Master tells him that Anakin needed to let go of these attachments. Obi-Wan is skeptical as he had failed ever since he had seen him on Tatooine, and asks Yoda if Anakin should perhaps be tasked with finding out who the Sith had been in his vision, to which Yoda agrees. The Jedi Knight meanwhile had paid a visit to his friend Palpatine, and although he does not detail what he had seen, the disguised Sith Lord can sense Anakin's conflict and his new vulnerability to the dark side. Palpatine told Anakin that the Jedi way may not work if his visions were to not become true, and Anakin left with more doubts in his mind. The Supreme Chancellor summoned his apprentice Count Dooku from across the galaxy and shares the recent discovery of Anakin Skywalker's turmoil. Dooku was worried for his own plans, as he had not accounted for Anakin falling to the dark side so quickly, and as much as he hated to admit it, Skywalker would soon become a very powerful Force user. For now, he would have to wait for his master to make his move, and Dooku is ordered by Sidious to capture anybody close to the Jedi Knight and place more doubts in his mind. Dooku immediately turns to the services of bounty hunter Cad Bane, a move approved by Sidious, and they choose to target Senator Padme Amidala. As the Duros hunter arrived to meet Dooku on Coruscant in his Rogue-class starfighter, the Sith apprentice had already obtained the plans to the 500 Republic under the Senate building, so after Bane had adjusted his hat, he stealthily moved to his target. Padme was seated in her office, looking at the latest bill that had been proposed by the Separatists, and she was aiming to gather a group of senators to oppose the move when she felt a chill run through her spine. Turning around, Cad Bane was smiling devilishly in her direction. Padme saw that Bane was cutting through the window and scrambled to her comlink to seek assistance from either Anakin or the Jedi, but to her horror, all lines of communication had been cut off, and now the lights were flickering into darkness. Padme ran to the door and opened it to get Captain Typho to assist her, and he ran in with his blaster raised and fired at the bounty hunter. Bane calmly dodged these and used his flamethrower to singe the robes of Typho. Then he utilised his vambraces to stun Padme and take her back to his ship, leaving a ruined office. As Typho felt the flames course through him, he managed to scramble to the broken window and launch a flare outside. Back in the Jedi Council Tower, Obi-Wan and Mace Windu had been standing outside of the window and waiting for their meeting to start when they saw the flare flash from the Senate office building. The two Jedi Masters see the distinctive Rogue-class starfighter of Cad Bane, and Obi-Wan leapt across several buildings and hooked onto the back of the ship, whilst Windu ran off to the burning building. The Coruscant security forces are tailing the Jedi Master, and as they reach the site, they begin to put out the flames as Windu went in to rescue anybody inside. Typho was dangling out of the building and kept out of the way of the incoming flames, just as Windu swooped in to rescue him. The Master of the Order took Padme's protector to the Jedi Halls of Healing, and as he is recovering, Windu begins to interrogate him on the events in Padme's office. Typho recalls the sudden attack by Cad Bane, and at that moment, Windu receives a transmission from Plo Koon, reporting that Anakin Skywalker had joined the pursuit of Cad Bane. Anakin had been in his Padawan quarters, training with Ahsoka in lightsaber combat, when he felt pain from across the city. As he dropped to the floor, Ahsoka sensed it too, and he ran off to the Jedi Temple hangar and entered his starfighter to find out what had happened to Padme, whilst Ahsoka checked upon the other senators. The Jedi Knight was possessed with rage at the pain felt by Padme and weaved his way through the civilian and commercial ships of Coruscant's busy cityscape. As he gets close to the ship of Cad Bane, he sees Obi-Wan is hanging onto the rear of the bounty hunter's ship before being shot by another ship from behind him. Obi-Wan began to fall down to the floor, and Anakin had a quick decision to make between saving his master or pursuing Bane and Padme. Anakin tilted the controls of his ship, diving downwards at a severe angle, ignoring the passing traffic. As he is about to reach the ground, he manages to catch up to Obi-Wan and cushions his fall with the canopy of his ship before scraping to the floor. Obi-Wan recovers in time to watch Bane's starfighter disappear off of the planet and orders the Jedi to track the ship at all costs. The two Jedi go back to the temple, and the council had ensured Senator Amidala was not out of their sight when they received a transmission from Supreme Chancellor Palpatine. Anakin, Yoda and Mace Windu enter the Senate building and find that Dooku was using the capture of Senator Amidala to condemn the Jedi's abilities as peacekeepers, as well as denying any involvement in her capture, much to the annoyance of Anakin. The Jedi Knight looked around the massive arena, gauging the reactions of the other senators, before his eyes narrowed on the vacant Senate pod of Rush Clovis. A brainwave entered Anakin's mind, and he rushed out of one of the side entrances, heading back to the temple. His starfighter that had been heavily damaged in his rescue of Obi-Wan had been repaired by R2-D2 and some of the temple's mechanics, so Anakin took off to Scipio, intent on saving Padme, as Obi-Wan followed him in his own ship. The Jedi Master noticed Anakin running through the temple, and against the wishes of the Jedi healers, he gathered the clones of the 212th Battalion under his command in a bid to rescue Padme and deal with any threats. The Republic forces are able to catch up with Anakin and find him dodging an entire separatist blockade, so Obi-Wan ordered his Padawan to return to his cruiser for a more sensible plan of attack. Anakin ignores the pleas of his master and draws the fire of the massive dreadnought, allowing for Obi-Wan to attack the separatist fleet. Unleashing a squadron of ARC-170 starfighters, the distraction of Anakin means Obi-Wan's attack demolishes their defences, and the Jedi Master went to pursue his Padawan, hoping that he was not acting on the visions he had encountered on Mortis. Obi-Wan navigated through the Ice Mountains and approached the main vault fortress of the Intergalactic Banking Clan. The eyes of the Jedi Master widened in disbelief as he saw Anakin's ship docked by the side of Senator Rush Clovis's office, and inside the Senator's room, Anakin was pummeling the poor politician. Obi-Wan quickly docked beside Anakin's starfighter and ran in with his lightsaber raised, but he was too late as Clovis had succumbed to the wounds inflicted by Anakin, despite the attempted protest by Padme. As Obi-Wan was about to scold Anakin for his reckless behaviour, from the shadows, the hooded figure of Count Dooku emerged. The Sith apprentice was equipping a devilish grin on his face, as with the death of Clovis, the reputation of the Jedi had fallen in the eyes of the galaxy and the Senate. The furious Anakin ignited his blade, still feeling the power of the dark side after Padme had been captured, and ferociously attacked Dooku. The Count of Sereno is surprised by the power of Anakin, and Obi-Wan could only watch as Dooku is pushed off the edge of a cliff face and into the snow-covered valley below. Anakin leapt down, with Obi-Wan in close pursuit, and the Jedi Knight pointed his lightsaber at Dooku, demanding to know the identity of the mysterious Sith Lord. Obi-Wan ensured that Dooku was unarmed, and allowed him to get to his feet, before he revealed that the Sith Lord was in control of the Senate, just as he had told Obi-Wan before the first battle on Geonosis. The Jedi Master is still confused, before he mutters the name of Palpatine. Anakin accuses the Sith Lord of lies, and asks the clones to arrest him. The clones are quick to bind the Sith apprentice, and take him to their gunship, but the clones oddly return, and unexpectedly cuff Anakin on the orders of the Jedi Council. Anakin wrestles to escape, but is stunned by one of the clone officers. Obi-Wan is enraged as to the nature of the arrest, and orders Commander Cody to put him in contact with the Jedi Council immediately, so they head back to his cruiser. As the council members see the angry Obi-Wan, they stare in confusion, before Obi-Wan reveals what had happened on Scipio, as well as the identity of the Sith Lord. The council summon Padawan Ahsoka Tano to their chamber, and orders her to free Anakin from the Republic prison that he would soon be placed in, before instructing Obi-Wan to return to Coruscant and arrest Palpatine. Ahsoka gathered the station members of the 501st Legion, and ordered a widespread search of the Republic's military base, but Anakin was nowhere to be found in any of the cells, and she reported back to the council. The Jedi, however, were on their way to the Senate office building to finally bring the Sith Lord to justice, but as they entered the Chancellor's office, they were in for a shock. Anakin had not been taken to a cell, but was in fact bowing to his new master Darth Sidious, and Obi-Wan wastes little time in pushing the desk to the Supreme Chancellor. Sidious dodged the attack and ordered his new apprentice Darth Vader to rise against the Jedi. With Vader at his side, the Sith Lord felt so confident he did not want to execute Order 66 just yet, and began to scythe down several Jedi Masters, as Vader and Obi-Wan began to duel. The two former Master and apprentice jumped out of the window and onto the floor below, which was actually a moving Republic gunship, and stood at opposite ends. As it rose back to the level of Palpatine's office, the disarmed Dooku managed to roll out into the office and threw a fallen lightsaber at Sidious, grazing his shoulder. The Sith Lord stumbled before putting Dooku out of his pain by throwing him into the streets of Coruscant and to his death before summoning Vader. The apprentice recklessly jumped through the window, and Obi-Wan cut off the lower half of his legs as he groaned in pain. Sidious looked furiously at Obi-Wan, sending a lightning attack at the Jedi Master, which he managed to block with the assistance of Master Windu. From the ground, the slowly dying Anakin had crawled his way to the front entrance, where a horrified Ahsoka and Padme were waiting. Together, they carry Anakin to the closest medical bay, in the hopes of containing his injuries. With his apprentice gone, Sidious tries to execute Order 66, but Windu and Yoda strike him down before he could do so. The wind from outside swept into the room, and Obi-Wan ran to visit Anakin. The Jedi Knight was breathing heavily in his medical bay, and at the sight of Obi-Wan, he felt ashamed of what he had done, before fading into the Force. That is it for What If Anakin Never Had His Memories Erased by the Father. If you enjoyed this What If, please like this video, turn on that notification bell, click that subscribe button on this channel, as well as on my other channel What If Films. And as always, leave a comment on what if you'd all like to see next, and how I can improve my videos. Thank you all very much for watching, and see you next time.